Now, this is a little bit off of some of the questions that we do have to ask you. I wanted to ask, because what I'm hearing here is about empowerment, empowering your people. Now, off camera, I was talking with Dr. Ty, and he made mention of giving. He made an analogy about giving someone an apple. Right? Giving someone an apple. And if you give that person the apple, they'll eat that apple and then the apple is gone. But if you give that person an opportunity
to plant.
Yes, sir. Go there, please.
Let me go there. Right now, the biggest challenge in my place, in Akwa Ibom, is going to be convincing people that it is better to plant an apple tree than eating one apple.
Yeah.
It is better to plant rice farms than getting a bag of rice.
Right.
It is better to create bakeries rather than eating a loaf of bread. So that's the greatest challenge, because everybody is hungry. Everybody wants to eat an apple. Everybody wants a bag of rice. And so the people that are in power right now, towards this election time coming, they're going to flood everywhere with bags of rice.
Right.
But then a year from now, or few months,
they want that vote.
Because they want that vote.
That's where.
So the greatest challenge is for them to listen to somebody like me say, I'm coming in. I want to be. You can collect the bag of rice, yes, but then do the right thing. Look at your children. We love our children, Ba.
Yes.
We love our children. That's why an average a person from Akwa Ibom spends a lot of money in education. Okay. Education is key. Yes. My parents, when I was growing up, my parents would rather not eat, but pay my school fee. You get my point? So if we love our children, then we should worry about our children's future after we are gone.
That's right.
So our kids now are graduating from universities and colleges of education. No opportunities. Our women graduate and then they go for short time. I don't want to expatiate on short time, but it is the lowest of the low. It makes us black men to be absolute failures, that we cannot create opportunities. But one of the biggest impediments is electrical power supply, constant. Because, I don't know if you know this, in Ivory Coast is a country in West Africa.
Okay.
Ivory Coast, believe you me, they have constant power. So my friends have asked me this afternoon, they said, what about Ivory Coast, Dr. Ta, Anita, you said power is the biggest impediment. But what about Ivory Coast? Why does Ivory Coast have power and yet they are still mired in poverty? The reason that Ivory Coast is mired in poverty is because Ivory Coast, Abidjan, is the dumping ground for French products. French, because of the colonialism, the French are still controlling Ivory Coast. So they dump everything from France. All manufacturing is done in France, and then they dump it in Abidjan. And all those guys are doing is struggling, buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling. You can't get out of poverty by buying and selling. You want to create the companies. You want to industrialize.
You're speaking a word today.
Yeah. So the French have gotten a chokehold. But this is the thing. This is where leadership comes in.
Yes, sir.
The leader will go to the French guys and say, look, we want 10% of your lotion manufacturing. If you're dumping lotion, the cream we put on our bodies. If you are getting I'm just using this as an example. If you are bringing lotion here, let us have 10% of the market. Let us produce 10%. But the French guys will say, oh well, if you want us to bring our French engineering, our French money, our French this to set up this 10%, we're not going to do it. So what the leaders then would do, the leaders of Ivory Coast would do, is don't worry. We don't want your French engineering, but we will buy the machines from you. We will buy the machine from you, and then our youth, our graduates, both in diaspora, in London, China, England, US, those graduates will bring them home and say, come home and help us create this 10% of this lotion.
Understand.
You get the dynamics.
Yeah.
So that was Ivory Coast. And that is not happening. I hope that is going to happen. But if you come down to my place, Akwa Ibom, we don't have, luckily for us, we don't have this chokehold by the British.
I understand.
Yeah, so, but the unfortunate thing is that we don't have constant power.
Okay.
So the biggest one is going to be getting the constant electrical power. And as you were saying, without the power, we cannot create rice farms. We cannot preserve rice farms. Without constant power, we cannot create bakeries. Okay. Without constant power, we cannot have indoor plumbing. Without constant power, we cannot do a lot of stuff.
Understand.
So my passion is constant power. Give me constant power or death.
Right.